What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to Game Day with Trey. Of course, this is your host, Trey, and today we're going to talk about this 2024 NBA Finals matchup between the Boston Celtics and the Dallas Mavericks. Now, everybody knows this is Game 4. All right, Boston is up 3-0 in the series right now. All right, the spread opened up at Boston plus 1.5, maybe 2 if you look on certain sites. It's since dropped to Boston plus 1. And then when you look at the over-under, at one point, it was at like 214.5. It's totally dropped all the way down to 211.5, guys. All right, so let's go ahead. Let's look at this matchup and how these two teams have been playing over the last 3 games. All right, so first and foremost, game 1 in Boston. Boston Celtics ended up winning that game 107-89. First quarter, Boston smacked them 37-20. Second quarter, Boston smacked them 26-22. Third quarter, Dallas did what they do. Make adjustments, play better ball, won that quarter 24-23. Fourth quarter, it continued. They won the fourth quarter 23-21. But because of that first half, and because Boston covered in the first half, and not just covered, smacked them in the first half, they won 107-89, man. All right, now, Luka did score 30 points, shooting 12 of 26 from the field, 2 of 5 from the free throw line, whereas Jaylen Brown scored 22 points, 7 of 12 from the field, 6 of 11 from the free throw line. All right, but as a team, Dallas shot 41.7% from the field, whereas Boston came out and shot 47.6% from the field. The thing is, though, Dallas only shot 25.9% from 3, whereas Boston came out and shot their actual season average, which is 38.1% from 3 in this game. All right, now, Dallas won the turnover battle. They only turned the ball over 11 times versus Boston turning over 14 times. And Boston ended up winning the rebounding battle, which I always tell you guys is key. It's the rebounding battle and the three-point. Whoever shoots better from 3 and gets the rebounds usually will win the game or win the series. Just being honest with you. Boston had 47 rebounds. Dallas had 43. Okay? Now, when you're looking at the full team box score, though, all right, and you're trying to understand what exactly was the downfall of this game for Dallas, outside of shooting 25.9% from 3, all right, I'm going to have to be 100% honest with you guys. It was the fact that they gave up 10 fast break points, okay, versus Boston only giving up 6. And then when you're talking about points conceded off of turnovers, Dallas did win that, 18 points versus Boston's 13 points. But the amount of turnovers is what did it to them, man. Like, and that first half, like, you got to come out and you got to fight better than that in the first half, guys. Okay, now, so when we look at game 2, once again in Boston, all right, final score was 105-98. First quarter, Boston comes out, loses the first quarter. Dallas picks up where they left off. They win 28-25 that first quarter. Second quarter, Boston fight back, 29-23. I believe it either tied the game up or they were like up by 1 or something like that. They didn't cover though, okay, because I did have Boston first half in that one, and I know Boston didn't cover first half. Then the third quarter, Boston came out, 29 points to Dallas's 23, and in the fourth quarter, of course, Dallas came out and put up 24 points to Boston's 22. But at the end of the day, Boston did win that game, 105-98. All right, so when you're looking at these two teams, all right, Luka did come out, scored 32 points, shooting 12 of 21 from the field, 4 of 8 from the free throw line, whereas Jrue Holiday led the team with 26 points, 11 for 14 from the field, and 2 for 2 from the free throw line. Luka also led the team in rebounds, 11 rebounds, all defensive rebounds, whereas Jrue Holiday, he led the team in rebounds in this game. He had 11 rebounds, 7 defensive, 4 offensive. And then when you're talking about assists, Jason Tatum led the team in assists for the Boston Celtics in this game, 12 assists total with 3 turnovers in 45 minutes, whereas Luka, yeah, he led that too. 11 assists, 8 turnovers, all right, in 42 minutes. And those turnovers for Luka are key and critical to what keeps playing out in this game and in this series. All right, so Boston shot 45.2% from the field, whereas Dallas came out and actually was doing pretty decent. They shot 47.5% from the field. But They laid down when it came from three. They couldn't hit nothing, man. All right, they shot 23.1% from three. And Boston, they did the same thing. They shot 25.6% from three. So neither one of these teams were hitting threes. And then Dallas also won the turnover battle. Or I'm sorry, Boston also won the turnover battle. Boston had 11 turnovers to Dallas's 15 turnovers, guys. All right, and Dallas did win the rebound battle, 43-41. All right, so why did this play out like this? How is it that Boston ended up winning? I mean, they didn't shoot the three they didn't shoot the three well at all. You know what I mean? They lost the rebounding battle or the turnover battle. Let me look. Hold up. Yeah. They lost the rebounding battle and they won the turnover battle. And that's what was key. All right, because Dallas conceded 21 points, all right, off of turnovers, whereas Boston only gave up 12. All right, and then when you look at fast break points, Boston had 15 points off of fast break, whereas Dallas only had 7, guys. Like, the largest lead in this game was those 14 points that Boston scored off the fast break. You know, you got to pay attention to the signs, man. There's plenty of live bet opportunities. And at the same time, you also got to pay attention to game flow. Look at those stats, right? Like, if you're giving up 21 points off of turnovers and you turn the ball over 15 times, boy, you ain't doing nothing. You can't keep holding the ball. Then your best player, he turned the ball over 8 times in one game. Like, it's not looking good. Then you go to game 3. Game 3, they're actually in Dallas, okay? But Boston ends up winning this game 106-99. All right? So, if you remember correctly, the line was Boston getting points, if I remember correctly. Or getting like 6 points or something like that at the end, but like 7.5 points if you caught it in the beginning. Well, I caught it in the beginning, so I hit. All right. First quarter, Boston scored 30 points, whereas Dallas came out and scored 31. So Dallas got the lead. Then second quarter, it's 20-20. So Dallas still has the lead. Dallas does cover at a half a point if you paid the little juice on top of that, as I did. So you hit on that. And then in the third quarter, Boston did what they do. They scored 35 points to Dallas's 19 points. And in the fourth quarter, Dallas actually did march back, man. Like, they scored 29 points to 21 for Boston. But at the end of the day, it all came down to Luka Doncic fouling out of the game with like 5 or 6 minutes left in the game. And it's all predicated off of his complaining and his whining and not like manning up, and he was a complete sieve on defense, guys. All right, so that means he was like a strainer that you use for your spaghetti. Everything just runs straight through him, like the whole team, man. Like, it was not competitive for Luka on defense, and there's a lot of things Luka's got to learn from these finals. Like, he's got to learn that in order to play at this level, to this point in time in the season, you got to be in prime time shape. You also got to be able to play some defense. Like, hopefully he does learn from this, but I'm going to be honest with you. I don't anticipate Luka making it to another finals again. He is James Harden reincarnated, as far as I'm concerned. Maybe I'm wrong, and I hope I am. Okay, but Luka has to turn his game around. He has to start playing defense. He has to get his body in shape for this time of the year, if you want to play to this time of the year, guys. All right, so like I said, like I'm always doing, I'm going to give you the full team stats on this game. And when you're looking at the full team stats, okay, so Boston shot 46.3% from the field, whereas Dallas shot 44.2% from the field. Boston did come out and shoot 37% from 3, but Dallas matched them, shooting 36% from 3. Both of them had 9 turnovers, but Dallas did win that rebounding battle, which is pivotal and key to remember for this next game. They won it 43-36. All right, the team leader for Boston was Jason Tatum with 31 points, shooting 11-26 from the field. 5 of 5 from the free throw line. But Kyrie was balling. He scored 35 points, shooting 13 for 28 from the field, and 5 of 5 from the free throw line. When you're looking at rebounds, it was Jaylen Brown. 8 rebounds, 7 rebounds on defense, 1 on offense. But Derek Lively, he did what he normally does. He had 13 rebounds, 10 of them on defense, 3 on offense. Then when you look over here as far as assists is concerned, Jaylen Brown ended up with 8 assists on only 3 turnovers and within 41 minutes. Whereas Luka, he ended up with 6 assists on 3 turnovers in 38 minutes, guys. So looking at that last number in the numbers, who's better, man? Like, come on, man. Stop playing with Jaylen Brown. The man is a dog. The man is a beast. I've been telling y'all about this for a while. And I'm just happy to see it all come to fruition and him be recognized for the player that he is. Okay? So, if you talk about Game 3, and you're talking about how these two teams matched up, and you're talking about where they truly sit as far as team points per game, things like that, you got to understand that you're looking at two teams that actually shot pretty evenly, like I told you before. All right, and they shot pretty evenly from the free throw line. But the big difference and the major problem with this game is even though Boston only gave up 12 points off of turnovers and Dallas gave up 13 points off of turnovers, and both of them had 12 points off a fast break, and Dallas even outscored them in the paint, 52-36. It is the sheer amount of threes Boston is shooting. Boston shot 17 for 46 from 3, whereas Dallas only shot 9 of 25 from 3. Now, twos do add up, and you can win like that. I'm a firm believer in that. But if you're going to try to win like that, you got to play defense. And Dallas, they just don't have the ability to play that type of defense, especially when you're talking about Luka Doncic, guys. Like, it's just, let's be clear, he is one of the worst defensive players that is a starter with the stature that he has in all of the NBA. All. There's not like many that are as trash on defense as Luka is. All right, so when you go over and you start trying to figure this game out, you're trying to figure out how these two teams are matching up and how they're playing, you got to first understand the injury report. So Kristaps Porzingis is questionable. He's dealing with that lower leg injury. It's uncertain if he'll be on the court on Friday against the Mavs. Then, of course, we already know Greg Brown is out. All right. Post-game, after Game 3, all right, we knew that the Boston Celtics have history within their grasp to try to get their 18th title and pass my Los Angeles Lakers for the most titles in NBA history with a win. But not only would the Celtics sweep the Dallas Mavericks if they win tonight, all right, they would, like I said, they would break that tie with my Lakers. All right, now it seems to be a matter of when, not if, when you're talking about that, breaking the tie thing. All right, because Boston closes out the series tonight, and I'm just, I believe they close out the series tonight, man. All right, the Celtics dominated in the playoffs, continued with a 106-99 victory. They are like 7-0 on the road in the playoffs. NBA teams have gone 156-0 when taking a 3-0 lead in any best-of-7 series. And there's no reason to think that streak is going to be in jeopardy when you're talking about the Boston Celtics riding a 10-game win streak right now and a 7-0 road record postseason. Like, nobody's celebrating or anything as far as what Jason Tatum is concerned and what he said. He said that we will still feel like there's a lot more that we can do. There's a lot more that we can do. And that's what you need to hear from your leader. I don't care if he actually is the leader on the court. Like, this is what you need to hear. Because Jalen ain't going to be around long, guys. So you really got to start doing it the right way. You got all the right pieces. You just making some errors or issues with the final team build, which will be resolved at the end of the day at a later time and a later date. But Luka has to step up and make this thing competitive, meaning playing the whole game, not fouling out at the end of the game, guys. Like, you can't do that. All right. Al Horford said, we're not allowing ourselves to think ahead. We're just trying to lock in on what we have to do. The job is not done yet. And remember, Al Horford just already lost the finals playing with Boston. So did Jason Tatum and so did Jaylen Brown. So they learned a lot from that situation and that experience of taking that L. The same way I hope Luka will learn, but he's got a lot of stuff he's got to improve way more than Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum did. I'm just saying, like, even though Luka is such a special offensive weapon, his defense is trash. All right. Now, Jason Tatum said nobody's celebrating or anything. We still feel like there's a lot more we can do. There's a lot more we can prove. All right. The Boston Celtics have proven to be deeper and a more talented team throughout the finals and the playoffs. When Tatum struggled on offense and then in game 2 for Boston, Jaylen Brown and Drew Holiday stepped up. Tatum delivered the last scoring performance in game 3, yet still we don't remember that right now. All right, like, please do not forget who's done what so you can understand which way you should be placing your money, guys. All right, now, this is a Mavs team that topped the 100-point mark in all 5 of their games against Minnesota Timberwolves finals. But Boston is a whole different animal, man, with versatility and various looks it can deploy. And if I'm not crazy, I believe that they have not reached over 100 points since March of 24th, 2001. Just think about that for a second, guys. All right, so let's get back to it. All right, now, in this situation, all right, the Boston Celtics are 15-2 straight up, whereas Dallas is 12-8 straight up in the playoffs as a home favorite. All right, as a home favorite, the Dallas Mavericks are 45-17, whereas Boston, as an away underdog, is 77-18 straight up. Now, if you're looking against the spread, these two teams. But when you look against the spread, all right, so Boston is 2-2 as a away underdog against the spread, whereas as a home favorite, Dallas is 19-18, man. All right, in the playoffs, you're looking at a team that is 9-7-1 when you're talking about Boston against the spread, whereas Dallas is 11-8-1. But like I said, they're giving up points, you guys, and I'm not sure how confident I would be in Dallas, especially without getting more than 1 point. This is a series of games and teams where they're not going to win by more than 7-8 points. All right, so you're pretty safe on taking that bet, guys. I just love to give you jewels. I'm not trying to give you nothing but fish, man. I don't want to give you the fish. I want to give you the ability to go fish. You feel me? All right, so now let's go ahead and let's look at this next thing. When you're talking about the stat split for the last 3 games, okay, you're talking about a Boston Celtics team that's averaging 106 points per game, whereas Dallas ain't averaging nothing but 95.3 points per game. Boston's winning by an average of 10.7 points per game. And remember, Boston is on a 10-game win streak straight up. Now, against the spread, they're 4-5-1 and 5-5 to the over and under. Whereas Dallas in their last 10, they're 6-4 against straight up, 5-4-1 against the spread, and it's 5-5 to the over and the under. So you really can't tell right there unless you're trying to pick Boston for to covering or it going over. All right, and that all depends on how the relationship is being handled at that point in time. So please take that with a grain of salt, man. All right, now let's take a quick look at what else is going on in this game. So the Boston Celtics have hit the first half money line in 39 of their last 48 games, whereas Dallas has covered the spread in 35 of the last 52 games. The Boston Celtics have hit the fourth quarter total under in 62 of their last 91 games. Man, that's like a deadbolt right there. Whereas Dallas Mavericks have hit the second quarter game total under in 46 of their last 72 games. Once again, another deadbolt, guys. Boston Celtics have covered the spread, the first half spread, in 64 of the last 98 games, and the Dallas Mavericks have hit the game total under in 48 of the last 76 games, guys. Like, this has really been a rivalry, regardless of how much it was being mentioned or has been mentioned. So, at the end of the day, what's my picks? Which way am I leaning? What do I like? I'm gonna be honest with you. I already took the Celtics I didn't take a money line. I gave them a couple points. I know that Dallas is getting points, but I went ahead and gave the Celtics a couple points when the Celtics were getting points. At this point in time, with the Celtics -1, I would go ahead and take the Celtics minus the 1. Maybe do a same game parlay, add in Dallas with the spread plus. Let's see. Nah, I wouldn't add that yet because you can only get a +2 right now. But I definitely would still mess with that total over under. And now I set at 211. I want to say, yeah, 211.5. I'll go ahead and rock with the 212.5. But I personally got it at 214.5. So I'm sorry for you, brother. And player props, well, you always want to look towards Luka in that first quarter over the 8.5 points. Like that's ridiculous. How you gonna put Luka Doncic at 8.5 points? That just doesn't make sense to me, guys. But a lot of things don't make sense to me. Only thing that does make sense is seeing every single one of y'all at the window, man. Pray that everything works out. Y'all have a blessed day. Stay safe, man. Let's cash on these bets. Please like, subscribe. I do have a lot more content coming to you guys. We are going to start transitioning towards the NFL. We are going to start looking at the season and looking at the teams and the makeup and what's happened in the draft. We are going to be paying attention to the WNBA and the Olympics for the men's and the women. All right? So there's a lot going on. Of course, we might throw a little baseball in there every now and again, too. So I'm going to holler at y'all, man. I'm going to see you at the window. Peace.